Welcome in, everybody. Great new day. Welcome to another Room to Breathe podcast. I am your host, Life Coach 614, and I am so thrilled to have each and every one of you here with us today. Again, I just welcome you to our space. The Room to Breathe podcast is a space where we untangle life's chaos, we dig deep, and give ourselves permission to exhale, right? So again, I'm your host, Life Coach 614. I welcome you all here, whether you are tuning in, from the comfort of your home, on your commute to work, or maybe just out having your morning walk. I welcome you all. And I'm so proud of you for taking this opportunity to just carve a little time out for yourself. Now, before we get into today's episode, I want to, just make a quick reminder. If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to tap the screen, like, comment, and share. Your support helps us to connect with more amazing people like you. And, if we're not friends already, be sure to give us a follow, subscribe to our channel, so that way you never miss out on our latest content. I also invite you to visit our website at theselfcareclub.org. We have some awesome affirmative apparel, motivational merch, and a bunch of free resources designed just for you. It's all about empowering yourself and embracing your journey. No matter what challenges you are currently facing, know that you're not alone on this path. We're in this together, supporting and uplifting each other every step of the way. It is time for us to choose to prioritize our well-being, to embrace our growth, and to find peace in the present moment. So let's get ready to breathe, reflect, and grow together. Let me see some green hearts in the chat if you are ready. Reflect and grow together. Let me see some green hearts in the chat if you are ready. Reflect and grow together. Let me see some green hearts in the chat if you are ready. All right, I see some green hearts. Who we got in the house today? We got Rose, Lady Blue, Stalking Jesus. There is no restraining order. I see you. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. All right, guys. So our topic of discussion for today is recognizing your gift. We're going to go through a topic called or about unnoticed talent, right? Hey, Mir. Hey, Janelle. Thank you. We're going to talk about unnoticed talent. And today I'm going to start with a story. Y'all know I'm notorious for a story for us, okay, y'all? So I want to start with a story. There was a woman named Maria. No problem, Janelle. I got you, girl. So listen, y'all, there was a woman named Maria. And Maria had a gift that she didn't even recognize was a gift. Like she had no idea that this was a gift, right? See, Maria was a very kind person. She was super nice, super sweet. Welcome in, Sweetwaters. And so Maria was the kind of person who was always encouraging other people. Thank you, love. She was always encouraging other people, right? She had a way of speaking life into others. T. Chauncey, welcome in, love. And whether it was, a coworker who was struggling with self-doubt, or a friend going through a breakup, maybe even just a stranger who needed a little bit of kindness, right? Maria was always there. She never thought much of it either, right? It's just who she was. She figured, I'm just talking, right? Nothing special, nothing to see here, right? And so one day a coworker pulled her to the side and said, Maria, girl, listen, I don't think you realize just how much your words help me. The one text that you sent me last week, it stopped me from making a decision that I would have regretted. And so Maria, of course, she had no idea. She's just doing what she's always done, right? And so she thought, that her words were small. She thought that her words were insignificant. But her words were the fruit to somebody who desperately needed them. So let me ask you something. What is something that you do naturally? It just comes second nature. What is something that you do naturally that helps others? Are you a motivator? Do you inspire? Do you help build people up? Do you encourage people? What's something that people always thank you for, even when you don't think it's a big deal? Some of us got to think a little hard about that. It's one of those things where it's kind of hidden in plain sight, right? When you think about something that you do that helps others, that people are always thanking you for, that there is your gift. And see, when we think about it, we tend to overthink this. Thank you, Shan. We tend to overthink this, right? And so, we think, oh, I don't have any gifts. I don't really have any special talents. I'm pretty basic, right? Think about this. A tree doesn't struggle to grow fruit. It just does what it's created to do, right? Lady Blue says, I try to motivate. Take the word try out of there. Try it again. You tried it. You motivate people. You are a motivator. One of the best motivators that I know. Right? So again, remember, a tree doesn't struggle to grow fruit. It just does what God created it to do. You don't have to force your gift either. It's already inside of you. You just do it. Do you think that somebody had to sit outside of an apple tree and be like, you grow apples? Does an apple tree have to be motivated to grow apples, or does it just grow apples? Right? See, the problem is many of us downplay the gifts that we have been given. If our gifts are meant to serve others, why are we sitting here hesitating to use it? Why are we downplaying it? Right? So I started thinking about it and I was like, okay, why is it that we struggle to share our gifts with other people? Why are we constantly second guessing ourselves, right? So the first thing that I came up with was fear. Because, honey, fear cripples us all the time and a lot of things that we do, right? Fear of judgment. See, I can remember the first time I put myself out there. Hell, when I first started coaching, when I first started doing music, when I began creating spaces for reflection and mindfulness, I kept asking myself, what if people don't like it? What if that's not what they're here for? Like when I first came to social media, many of you know, I came here teaching people how to do their nails during the pandemic. So for me to completely switch it up from having a visual live stream where I'm teaching you how to do nails to shifting to just having a conversation about self-care, I was like, what if people don't like it? Like, I had a good little following. Like, what if they not feeling me? Right? What if they judge me? Oh, God. Like, what if people judge me? Or here's another one, because, since we're going to just let the imposter in, I started thinking, what if I'm not good enough to do this? What if I'm not good enough to be a content creator? Right? What will they say? Ugh. But then I realized something. A tree doesn't care who eats the fruit. It just produces it. The tree don't care if anybody eat the fruit, right? It just continues to make fruit. Year after year, season after season, that tree just keep on putting apples out. It don't care if you eat it. It don't care if you like it. It it don't care, right? See, not everybody is going to appreciate what you offer, but that doesn't mean you should stop giving. The right people will need what you bring. We're going to bring Dr. Seuss back up in here. Those who mind don't matter, and those who matter won't mind it. So remember, not everybody's going to appreciate what you have to offer. Your gift isn't meant for everybody because, baby, you were never created to be for everybody. But you have something. There is something that you offer. There is something that God has instilled specifically in you. And it ain't even for you. It is for you to go out and give, for you to be a blessing for someone else. So the next reason that I came up with why people struggle to share their gift is we think of a gift as having to be something huge, something really big, right? We think our gifts aren't big enough. I just got this little bitty gift. I shouldn't really share that with people, right, Smurf? I just got a little tiny gift, Crystal. I mean, I don't have enough for everybody, so I might as well not share it. Crystal says, adding value to someone's life at that moment, they needed to hear it and feel it. Absolutely. So again, we start thinking that our gift isn't big enough. I've had people tell me, my gift isn't special. I'm not an artist. I'm not a content creator. I'm not a public speaker. I'm not a leader. But let me tell you something. Your gift doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. Some people heal through their presence, not their words. And y'all know I'm notorious for telling y'all your presence is a gift. You simply being here in this world is a blessing, right? So you've got to understand that some of our healing comes from us simply showing up every day, showing up in people's lives. It's not always what you do. It's not always what you say. It's not always what you provide or you bring. Sometimes the mere fact that you showed up is a blessing to someone. So maybe your gift is to heal with your presence, not so much your words. Some people have the gift of listening, right? And think about it. How many times have you been stressed out and you value somebody listening to you? You didn't really come for them to talk. You just needed somebody who could listen real good, right? So some people have a gift of listening, which in my opinion is way more powerful than speaking. I want to be seen and I want to be heard, right? I don't always want to be talked to. I just want to be seen and I want to be heard. Yeah, Crystal says, I have learned so much from people who have struggled, been on the streets, their addictions. Yeah. Everybody's struggle, everybody else's downfall is still a blessing for someone else. When I hear other people's stories, it motivates me, it empowers me, it humbles me, right? The stories that other people share lift me up, right? Remind me that there is a purpose, that there is value in the human life, right? Some people even have a gift of simply creating safe spaces, right? Where other people can show up and be themselves. This is something that I try to talk to content creators about all the time, right? Some of us simply create an atmosphere that other people feel comfortable in. So people are like, oh, I don't know what my content is. I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to clean up the back. I don't know what to do, coach. And I'm like, listen, just do you. Just be you. Some of the most amazing content creators that I've come around and love to hang out with just have random conversations about life. Their presence their demeanor, their humbleness keeps bringing me back. It's a space that I feel safe in. So understand that some of us have the gift to simply create safe spaces. That way other people can feel comfortable enough to show up and be themselves. Because it's hard work walking around every day, walking on eggshells, right? Feeling like you got to be extra nice and do I say this? Can I not say that? Is this going to offend somebody? Am I going to trigger this person? And I'm going to set this person off and they going to cuss me out? I don't want to hang out in spaces where I got to walk on eggshells. I simply want to be in spaces where I feel safe, where I can show up being me. Because I work too hard every single day to be my authentic, unapologetic self. So when I pull up in somebody else's space, I don't want to be sitting there trying to figure out who I am, what to say, how to act. So again, there is no such thing as a small gift. It's just a matter of recognizing who needs it. So let's talk about how to stay nourished while giving. Because I want y'all to give. I want y'all to be endless givers. But I don't want your cup to be empty. We cannot pour from an empty cup, right? So while I encourage you to go out here and refill other people, I need you to first and foremost make sure that your cup stays full. So just like a tree needs water to keep producing, we as human beings need to be replenished too. So we have to understand that if we're always pouring, but we're never receiving, then we run dry and our fruit stops producing. So let's talk about how to nourish ourselves so we don't burn out while we're giving. First, again, we know when you water a plant, that plant flourishes, right? So the first thing I want you to water is your mind. Water your mind. Can y'all add that to the chat? Water your mind. And how we water our mind is we become mindful of what we consume. Mindful of what you consume. And I mean down to the books that you read, to the social media, to the conversations, to the people you hang with, right? I want you to be mindful of what it is that you are consuming. You also, while watering your mind, need to surround yourself with people who nourish your spirit. Right? You don't want to be around the energy vampires, people who drain you. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but there's a video that I watched and it had 3 strawberries and a toothpick, or let's say a skewer, like a kebab skewer. Okay, so one of the strawberries was rotten. It was already starting to mold. And so they put the one bad strawberry and then 2 good strawberries, and it, took this toothpick or whatever and put them all together. And that rotten strawberry immediately started killing the second one. And because the second one was dying, it started killing the third one. And I saw that and I was like, oh my God, that is so powerful, right? Because for me, when I'm around people that are rotten fruit, it starts to rub off on me. And the longer I stay around people that I deem to be rotten fruit, the worse I begin to feel, the more I begin to feel drained, right? And they say, like, don't let one bad apple ruin the bunch. So when you're watering your mind, you have to be mindful of the company that you keep. Yeah, you got to be mindful of the company that you keep. Crystal said, I'm taking screenshots so I can keep notes. Yes. And Crystal, remember, you can always go back and watch the replay on YouTube. As soon as we finish, it's immediately there. So I got you. But yeah, so again, you guys, water your mind. A question of reflection would be, what am I feeding my mind daily? See, we become mindful of the things that we eat, right? New year, new me. It's wintertime, but baby, I'm trying to find my summer body. So I got to be careful what I eat, what I drink. I got to get up and go to the gym, right, Lollipop? I got to get up. I got to get out. I got to get motivated. But what am I feeding my mind daily? See, I eat clean and I work out and I do all of these things, right? So you think you winning. Physically, maybe you are. But if you've poured everything else into your body that was clean and good, but then you surround yourself by toxic energy, toxic people, you entertain drama and mess and chaos, right? Then all of a sudden you're trying to figure out, but why don't I feel better? Because you forgot to water your mind. Have an amazing day, Crystal. I'll send you the link as soon as we're finished, love. So again, remember, water your mind. What are you feeding your mind daily? Is it helping you grow? Because if it's not helping you grow, if it's not refilling your cup, if it's not pouring into you, what are you doing? Right? It's like going to the gym every day, working out hard, being disciplined, and then just coming home and pigging out on whatever you want. All the unhealthy things. It's counterproductive, right? So be mindful of what you consume, the books, the things that you watch on TV, the news that you engage in, social media, conversations, the company you keep. Be mindful of what it is you consume and surround yourself with people who pour into you, not drain you. Number 2 of things that we need to water. We need to water our soul. Can you guys put that in the chat? Water your soul. Because if we're going to pour into our mind, we also need to make sure that we fill our soul up. Because honey, that's the juice right there to keep us going, right? So in order to water your soul, you need to make space for stillness. You've got to make space for meditation. You've got to make space for prayer. Water your soul. See, a tree doesn't stress over how to grow. It simply receives what it needs from the universe and it does what it does best, right? So we need to make sure that we're watering our soul. A very easy way to begin to water your soul is to get into your affirmations. One of my favorite ones for this is, I give myself permission to receive before I give. Y'all put that in the chat. I give myself permission to receive before I give. Because no more am I just waking up and going out here to serve the world and I ain't getting nothing. Can you imagine on a regular basis cooking food that you could never eat? You ain't never got a taste of it. You can't afford it. That's a little slave mentality, right? I prepared all of this, but I can't even have none of it. What kind of life is that to live, right? So I give myself permission to receive before I give. For me, y'all, it's like Thanksgiving. I spent all this time cooking all this food for everybody. But y'all, I done ate. I done tasted every single thing on the menu, honey. So when it's time for everybody else to eat, I sit back, I watch everybody else make their plate, and I make this little teeny tiny bird plate, y'all, because I am full. I done got to it before anybody else done touched it. See, I'm a kind of girl, I don't really like buffets, right? I don't like people picking over my food. So I tend to get what I need in the beginning. So that's what that affirmation always makes me think about. When I tell myself, I give myself permission to receive before I give. And the third thing that you need to water, last but certainly not least, y'all, I need for you to water your purpose. Water your purpose. And you're like, well, how the heck do I do that, coach? How do I water my purpose? Like, what does that even look like? I don't even know what that means. Some of us don't even know what our purpose is. I don't even know if an apple tree knows what its purpose is, but baby, it still be producing apples year after year. So, in order to water our purpose, we have to use our gifts daily, even if it's just in small ways. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present in your purpose. I'm going to say that again. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present in your purpose. A tree that refuses to produce fruit will eventually stop growing. A tree that a tree that refuses to produce fruit will eventually stop growing. Don't be that tree, y'all. Don't let fear stunt your growth. So, while we're talking about giving, right? Giving our gift, because our gift keeps giving, right? Let's talk about giving without losing yourself. Because never do I want you to give and have nothing for yourself. So when I think about giving without losing, myself, I think about this girl that I worked with. And y'all, when I tell y'all, she had the biggest heart. It's funny because her name was Sunshine. And Sunshine had the biggest heart, y'all. And I swear this girl gave everything to everybody. She didn't care. You needed the shirt off her back, baby. She'd just take it off and give it to you. And it wasn't just material things. This girl would give her time, her energy, her wisdom. But the thing that I always noticed about Sunshine, as beautiful as she was, inside and out, y'all, Sunshine was always exhausted. There was always a hint of resentment. And I noticed that Sunshine was always running on E. So one day I pulled her to the side, because she would always come to me and be like, is there anything you need? Can I help you? Can I do this? And I would always tell her, no, I'm okay. And yeah, there were a lot of things that she had to offer that would benefit me. But there was something in me that was like, no, I can't. I can't be like everyone else and take from you when I realized you don't have it. I recognized that Sunshine was the queen that I needed to pour into, right? What up, King? So, you know, with her, I just had to let her know, okay, listen, girl, giving your gift, right, doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice yourself. And I pointed out all of the amazing things that this girl has done for so many people. I've watched people come and go and take and take and take and take and take. And so I had to point out to her that, just because you have this gift, it doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice yourself to give it to someone. Yes, we are meant to offer our gifts freely, but there still must be boundaries. You still deserve to be protected. And so I would talk to her and in talking to her, I had to get her to understand that, she was giving too much. And she's like, well, I don't understand. And I asked her and I said, well, do you feel resentment about what you're giving? And she's like, oh, well, sometimes. And I was like, you don't have to admit it to me, girl. I see it. It's written all over your face. You ain't got to say a word. Okay. Like, I see the resentfulness. And the other people just don't see it because, see, you're surrounded yourself by takers. And because you're a giver, they keep showing up and they take. And none of them ever look back to see the look on your face. Imagine making a sandwich in the kitchen, y'all. And as soon as you finish making that sandwich, you got to the point where you cut it in half. You turn around to wipe the knife off. And all of a sudden, you turn back around and your sandwich is gone because somebody then came through like, thank you. I ain't even got no more bread left, y'all. I'm left with ham and no burger. They just gonna take my sandwich. So now I resent them, right? That's how she was feeling. And I could see it because I wasn't taking from her. Then, I had to tell her, and I said, you know how you're always talking about you're so tired, that you're so uninspired. You run around doing everything for everybody else, but you just don't even know what to do with yourself. You just don't know what to do. Right? So she was like, yeah, but she was always making excuses for being tired. I was up a little late, and I'm like, doing what? Oh, so and so needed this, and I'm like, great. You wasn't even up late doing something for yourself. You was up late doing something for somebody else. Or she'd be like, oh, my iron is a little low. But I'd be like, don't you take the same multivitamins that I do, girl? And she'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, your iron ain't a little low. But if it was, did you go to the doctor? No, I haven't I don't have time to go to the doctor. But you got time to stay up all night and do everything for everybody else, but not yourself. Okay. And then she said, but I do admit, sometimes I feel like I'm being taken for granted. And I'm like, girl, that's 3 red flags right there. You're resentful. You're tired. You're uninspired. And you feel like you're being taken for granted. Those are signs that you're giving too much. And so, of course, I worked with her on how to set healthy boundaries, right? First and foremost, when you recognize that you're giving too much, you have to know your limits. You've got to set your limits. You can give without overextending yourself. You've got to learn how to say no when it's needed. And I know the society tries to make us think that saying no and setting boundaries is selfish, but it's self-care, so it's impossible for it to be selfish, honey. In fact, saying no is not selfish, it is survival. And of course, we have to make time for rest. Do you ever think about the fact that even trees have seasons of stillness? An apple tree doesn't produce apples 365 days of the year. A pear tree, an orange tree, or whatever tree you want to think of, right? It does not grow 365 days a year. So if trees have seasons of stillness, why shouldn't I? The cell phones, the devices that we love, don't y'all plug those in every night? If y'all look down and see that battery running a little low in the middle of the day, don't you recharge it so you'll have it later? We need to also recharge. So it's important that, you begin to make time for rest, make time for downtime. Some of us really just need a nap in the middle of the day, and we haven't given ourselves permission to just rest, to just be, to just relax. So again, you can give without losing yourself. Your gift is bigger than you. And I know that seems like a very simple statement, right? But it is one of the most powerful things that I teach to my clients. Your gift is bigger than you. You may never see the full impact of your gift, right? A teacher might not ever know which students they truly inspired. A singer may never meet the person who was healed by their music. A writer may never hear from the person who was saved by their words. But just because you don't see the impact of your gift doesn't mean it was not impactful. A tree doesn't see who eats the fruit, it just produces. A candle doesn't see who benefits from its light, it just glows. And you may never see the full impact of what you have given, but just keep giving. Keep giving anyway. So, as we close today, I want you to reflect on these questions. What fruit am I meant to give? Am I allowing myself to be watered, or am I over here running on dry? What steps can I take today to share my gift with the world? Because your gifts were never meant to stay hidden. God didn't give you the gift for you to be selfish with it, for you to keep it. You are here to serve. You are here to uplift. You are here to impact lives. And just like trees, you don't have to force it. You just have to grow. Breathe in, hold it, and let go. If I had one thing to leave you guys with today, it would be a very simple affirmation. And it's just, I am a vessel. My gifts are not for me alone. I share them freely, knowing that what I give will nourish others and come back to me in abundance. I am a vessel. My gifts are not for me alone. I share them freely, knowing that what I give will nourish others and come back to me in abundance. One more time, y'all, because third time's the charm. I am a vessel. My gifts are not for me alone. I share them freely, knowing that what I give will nourish others and come back to me in abundance. As we wrap up today's episode, I just want to take an opportunity to thank each and every one of you for joining us today. If you enjoyed our time together, be sure to give us a follow, subscribe to our channel, so that way you never miss out on our latest content. And don't forget to head over to selfcareclub.org. There you could book your personalized one-on-one coaching session. We also have affirmative apparel and other motivational merch, including our blog and our Room2Breathe music, as well as a treasure trove of free resources that are designed just for you. Whether you are looking to elevate your self-care game or you just need to find a little extra inspiration to get you through today, know that we've got you covered. I thank each and every one of you for being a part of the Self-Care Club community, and I am so happy that you were here with us today. I do look forward to connecting with you all again soon, but until next time, I encourage you to keep breathing, stay positive, and remember that you will always be supported here at the Self-Care Club. Don't be afraid to take up space and make a little room for you to breathe. I pray that you all have an amazing day on purpose, filled with nothing but purpose. And I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Thank you.